It takes courage to share your stories of being abused and then coming out on the other side. It takes courage because when you start to speak, some people just wonder why it took you so long. Why did you do it this way? Why didn't you zig when you should have zagged? It's like they automatically know how this person should have reacted. So, this woman right here says, my ex husband slammed me into the garage floor and cracked my elbow when he was drunk. It took 5 more years to leave after that. Some random person, STP, says, I don't know, just really hard for me to feel bad because he broke your elbow and you stayed. And she says, what's the point of your comment? Like, oh no, some random internet stranger doesn't understand abuse and victim blames. And then the STP says, no, I understand. I just don't understand staying with a guy that broke your elbow. Jessica continues with, because he told me if I ever left, he would unalive me and ruin my life while also telling me I financially wouldn't survive alone and he would take my kids. STP was like, oh, okay, I apologize. But what's the purpose in even being like that? What's the purpose in not hearing someone's story and be like, you just did it wrong? Why do we always want to make victims the wrong ones when they're in the middle of it? But Jessica continued. She says, so I spent 5 years taking promotions and putting myself in a better financial position and getting the courage, because sometimes people do require some courage and confidence. So she was getting the courage to leave. He did, in fact, ruin my life when I left. I had to leave a 16-year career, sell my home, lost family and friends, and ended up being the villain and was assaulted in my home by him the day the divorce was finalized. So, yeah, it takes courage when you've been beat down mentally and emotionally and was a literal shell of a person who was terrified that my life would be over when and if I left. And it was, but it got better. But when you're in it, you can't always see the light. I have never been abused, but it is something to actually look into these things. The cycle of abuse keeps people not thinking. That flight, fight, or freeze hormone is real. Some people just will sit there in it, and it's literal self-preservation. It's not always thinking. When you are in a healthy situation, you can make healthier decisions and do things a little bit better. When you are in the midst of it, you are trying to survive. And then losing family and friends, having to sell your home. Imagine the trauma that goes along with losing your family and friends because you got divorced. And also, people need to realize that when you are divorcing somebody, when you're leaving somebody who has been abusive, it puts your life in danger. These people that always want to victim blame irk me because they act like they don't see these stats on what women go through when they are walking away. At some point, I want people to have just a little bit more grace when it comes to listening to these stories and allowing these people to be vulnerable, because it does take a village to help support these people to walk away, because this woman lost family, she lost friends, so obviously she didn't have very many people that she could turn to. She lost her job, she had to leave her job. This is why people have got to be strategic. They can't leave because you, self-righteous, always doing it right, level-headed, common sense having people, it's not what you can do from the safety of your own home. It's not the same. So have a little bit more grace, a little bit more empathy for these people. Anyways, y'all, I try to advocate for people. Keep sharing your story. I will keep sharing, and hopefully it will help the next person. And maybe it will help some of you extra self righteous. I got it. I will do everything right the first time. See a little bit more of the other side of other people's situation so you can have some grace and empathy for other people. Jump in the comments. Let me know what you think. Like, comment,